in the report, please be kindly reminded that those views should be verbally expressed at the plenary meetings or during the formal working group meetings. With your permission, I would first like to offer an opportunity under Agenda Item 3 now to give the floor to the Office for Outer Space Affairs to provide updates under its mandate of discharging the responsibilities of the Secretary General under the legal regime of outer space, including an urgent briefing on the impact of the liquidity crisis on the Office of Outer Space Affairs. And this statement will be delivered by Ms. Aarti Holla-Maini in her function as Director of the Office for Outer Space Affairs. And if there are no objections, I will give the floor to Ms. Holla-Maini.
Chair, Excellencies, distinguished delegates, I'm honoured to welcome you all to this session of the Legal Subcommittee. Deputy Director Driss El-Hadani and I are now in our second cycle of COPUOS. And I can confidently say that we are impressed by the initiatives within COPUOS to deliver on the priorities of the space sector. The Outer Space Treaty and the subsequent treaties, principles, guidelines and resolutions adopted by the UN General Assembly have played a vital role in enabling the last 6 decades of space activities. Now, your deliberations on critical issues such as space resources, space traffic, space debris, lunar consultations, and on Unispace 4 can play an equally vital role in enabling the safe continuation and sustainable development of space activities for the decades to come. This is why the space sector at large looks to COPUOS for critical guidance and is watching to see if COPUOS can indeed deliver on the multilateral solutions that are needed to address current priorities. Excellencies, most of you know me by now. I have worked hard to fulfill and defend the mandate of COPUOS since the first day of my appointment 1.5 years ago. Because I have every respect for you and for this body, I will always be open and frank with you. We must not lose precious time focusing on procedures and formalities over substance and solutions. UNOOSA and your discussions on space are reaching a watershed moment. Space activities are presenting us with urgent realities, and our task is to ensure that we rise to the occasion and deliver on the needs of the day. I am committed to this, but I am increasingly concerned by the escalation of feedback that I have received in recent months, expressing reservations about COPUOS's ability to deliver the solutions that we need on time. While stakeholders do not question the legitimacy of this high body, their doubts are fueled by observing an undue loss of precious time on procedure. Just last week, I had a call with a senior colleague who has been in the United Nations for 30 years. He said, "Aarti, the UN is at a major inflection point. We must be entrepreneurial and dynamic, or we become dinosaurs." Some of you may believe that this kind of spirit is not appropriate for this body. But the reality is that the entire United Nations is now trying to embody this spirit in order to remain relevant in a fast-changing and ever-divided world. As the custodians of the peaceful uses of outer space, I do not need to tell you how fast this sector is evolving. I am a lawyer myself, and I know there are many interesting legal topics that can be studied and discussed. My call to you is to remain focused during the coming 2 weeks, to use your valuable time to advance and take action where it is truly needed, using the famous Vienna spirit to its full extent, so that your work remains directly relevant to the needs of our time. The challenges of today's space activities remain unresolved, and other bodies may step in to resolve them if we are unable to act in a timely manner. If we want to maintain the centrality of this High Committee and keep Vienna as the center of gravity of space governance, we must overcome inertia and we must be prepared to innovate in how we work in order to deliver on our mandate. There is really important work in progress at LSE this year, and you have before you an opportunity that is not to be missed. The Space Resources Working Group can make a good start on the draft principles that have been circulated to states just a few weeks ago. The Working Group on the 5 treaties can transition from exchanging initial views on Article 11 and information sharing to actually considering concrete tools for their operationalization. ACLAC can give a final push to their work plan so that it is ready for endorsement by COPUOS in June and so that substantive work can finally begin. These are vital, tangible work streams that can deliver much needed results that can be presented to the world at a potential Unispace 4 conference in 2027, which in itself presents another key area in which you have an opportunity to make important progress. Under my leadership, UNOOSA will be open to change. We will seek to maximize opportunities for all member states. We will be dynamic and we will share our expertise. Having seen the work of this subcommittee, I know this message will be embraced and that your work will be delivered with ambition. I look forward to hearing from all of you and working with you in the coming weeks. Chairs, distinguished delegates, you can rest assured that UNOOSA is at your side and is doing its part. Next week, we will be convening the second meeting of national focal points on registration, which will contribute to developing a toolkit on registration practices in the third quarter of this year, which will empower all nations to establish national registration frameworks. I would also like to inform you of a capacity building workshop jointly organized by UNOOSA and the ITU in early June, entitled From an ITU Filing to Registration with UNOOSA, the Life Cycle of a Satellite. This will benefit both the Vienna and the Geneva communities. With space sustainability and socio-economic growth and prosperity taking center stage right now, states are becoming more aware of the need for robust legal frameworks. As such, we continue to help states develop space law and policies that promote economic investment and underpin national space activities through our Space Law for New Space Actors project. We still have a list of over 60 countries who are waiting for our assistance in this field, and we are proactively fundraising to support this demand and implement COPUOS commitments. A side event on this topic will take place on Thursday, the 8th of May. On this topic, I would also like to commend the Philippine Space Agency on the launch of their book, Tala and Her Journey to Space, which educates children on space law. Chair, distinguished delegates, during the subcommittee meeting we will also have 3 very topical side events. Firstly, on commercial perspectives on space situational awareness. Secondly, on space traffic, managing versus coordinating. What is the difference and why does it matter? And finally, on enabling active debris removal and in-orbit servicing missions. Chair, distinguished delegates, you have now heard a bit about our tangible impact in the areas of space policy and law and how your work is critical. I hope you see that this impact can only be maintained through an honest and open conversation with you. So I have to be honest. The year 2025 has started on a challenging note for us in the Secretariat, with the liquidity crisis critically affecting delivery of our mandates across the 5 pillars of UNOOSA strategy. And I would like to use my remaining time to inform you about this. If we could please have the presentation slides.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you very much to Director Holla-Maini. I would like to thank you for your statement and her presentation on behalf of the office.